Boxing Time, Cancún Boxing, promociones del pueblo, Boxers Promotions y en nombre, por supuesto, del gobierno municipal de Torreón, a esta gran función estamos transmitiendo completamente en vivo desde la comarca lagunera. Estamos en Torreón, Coahuila, México. En la categoría de peso super mosca, pelearán a en la esquina roja, con un récord de 8 peleas ganadas, 8 perdidas y 5 victorias por la vía del knockout, directamente de Castaños, Coahuila, Francisco Zurdito Rivas. En la esquina opuesta, esquina azul, su rival para este encuentro, con un récord de 10 peleas ganadas, 2 empates, invictos, 7 victorias por la vía del knockout, directamente de los Mochis, Sinaloa, Luis Peluchín Araujo. Referente a este encuentro, el tercer hombre a la superficie, el señor Raimundo Ríos. Esto es ESPN Knockout.
Señores al centro. Caballeros, ya conocen las reglas. Hay que respetarlas al pie de la letra. Cuídense mucho. Choquen los guantes. Que gane el mejor.
So we have Luis Araujo, who is undefeated. 10 wins, no losses, 2 draws, 7 wins coming by way of a knockout. A 6-year pro as he takes on Francisco Rivas from Castaños, Coahuila, Mexico. And immediately starting off strong, though. Look at this.
And just charging time frame. Feel that now.
Araujo is going right after Francisco Rivas. Francisco Rivas is in the midst of a 3-fight losing streak, all of them by stoppage. So it could be a case, Chris, why Araujo is going right after him. Beautiful left hook to the body by Araujo. Araujo is going, as they say in Spanish, abajo, and that means downstairs. Look at that, just swinging, ripping shots to the body by Araujo in the early going here on ESPN+. Ray Flores alongside Chris Martin here in Torreón, Coahuila, Mexico for Cancún Boxing, brought to you by Pepe Gomez and Promociones del Pueblo. Look at this, more body work by Araujo.
And definitely, it's really funny to watch the fact that he's got 10 fights and fighting still like he has won 2 fights. I feel like he's chucking.
If we had Lee Gross from the legendary CompuBox series that count the punch stats, I don't think you would have seen a jab over the first minute and a half from either guy.
I've yet to see a jab. Actually, he shut me up right there and Rivas threw a jab, but it was just a throwaway jab.
Midway through that first round. So far, it has been a fun pace. We'll see if they can continue to fight at this frenetic speed as Araujo continues to hammer away upon the body of Francisco Rivas.
Yeah, Rivas really did feel that last one right
there. And there's a left hook to the body, and Rivas complaining about maybe a shot behind the head. But that's a beautiful body shot by Araujo. But back comes Rivas. Talk about letting the leather fly in the early going. Beautiful left hook to the body by Araujo. Oh, beautiful left uppercut. And Araujo came right back. He took half a step back and then he went right back on the attack. My goodness.
His offense is his defense.
Both men. Yeah, so right. He went in there with one frame of mind. Finish this guy early and hammer him to the body. Left uppercut by Araujo. But back comes Rivas as he backs up Araujo. And that's the end of the first.
3 minutes went by very fast.
Felt like 30 seconds. Taking a look at some of this action, Chris, what do you see?
Just what we saw the entire round. It's really kind of hard to pick any highlights because it seemed like the whole round was a highlight, just back and forth action. Mainly Araujo, the guy pushing the pace, but Rivas did have his moments in the fight, like that right uppercut that we saw right there.
Well, I think Luis Alberto is trying to, at this point, say, okay, let me continue, and I really want to take that next step up in my career and sort of graduate from being a prospect to now being a legitimate contender. And how do you do that? By beating guys like Francisco Rivas and then upping the level of your opposition.
Yeah, absolutely, and beating them by impressive fashion. Like obviously he came out trying to do that, trying to starch his opponent, even though Rivas' game was there the whole round.
Francisco Rivas hasn't won a fight since May 17th of 2019, so it has been over a 3-year absence of him being in the win column. But he is certainly coming out and bringing forth a heck of an effort thus far against Luis Alberto.
Yeah, he's 8-8. This guy's 50-50, man. So you never know who you're going to run into. The guy that won 8 fights or the guy that lost 8 fights. And right now he's fighting like the guy that won 8 fights.
Rivas might have hurt Araujo, and Araujo tying up. And the referee, who looks younger than my youngest brother, steps in between them. He's doing a great job, by the way.
Yeah, he definitely got hurt, did Araujo, and Rivas knows it.
Big right hand as Araujo backs up Rivas, but back comes Rivas. Rivas is saying, you're fighting in my home state of Coahuila. You're not going to come in and barrel me over that easy. Couple of right hooks to the body by Araujo.
And this is the same weight class as the main event. So maybe Araujo finishes this guy or beats this gentleman here and maybe could face the winner of tonight's main event.
Well, I know he would certainly love that. You go from being the first fight of the night to being the main event. That's certainly on his mind. But what he has to do first is get past Francisco Rivas.
Yeah, Rivas definitely, once again, putting on a very game performance.
Stop!
Couple of right hands as the referee telling him, Araujo, you cannot be holding and pushing down the head. There's a right hook to the body again. Araujo just digging away, ripping shots, pounding away on the body of Francisco Rivas.
And even though Rivas looks hurt at times, he comes back with 1 shot, 2 shots.
Well, Chris, you haven't been in there over the course of your career. You know that a dangerous fighter, or hurt fighter, is a dangerous fighter. And down goes Rivas.
3, 4, 5,
Very true
6,
statement you mentioned,
7,
but I
8.
think in this case, Rivas looks a little bit more now.
Guantes.
Rivas went down for an accumulation of punches from Araujo, and Araujo feels that the end could be near as he looks to take out Francisco Rivas here in Torreon, Mexico. He is throwing everything he can as Araujo. Can Rivas, can he survive? And now he is backpedaling again, trying to hold on to make it to the 3rd round.
And Ray, it's the body shots that's hurting Rivas right now. It's nothing else but the body shots.
Stop!
That ends the 2nd. Rivas survives.
The only shots that Araujo hurt Rivas with were those solid body shots, and you can see it right now on the face of Rivas.
Laceration above the left eye of Rivas, along with on the bridge of the nose. And we'll take a look at some of this action.
And not too different from the first round. It's just nothing but action, but a little worn down Rivas now in this 2nd round. It's gonna have a much harder 3rd round if Araujo is able to continue that pace, that solid, non-stop pace that he's put on in rounds 1 and 2.
Round number 3, they are taking quite a while for Rivas to get off the stool. And will Araujo go out there and bring an end to the night to Francisco Rivas?
It seems like Rivas only has 1 gear, 5th gear.
No question about it. And Araujo trying to increase his knockout percentage. It's well over 50% and 58%. Big shots to the body. Back goes Rivas, and Rivas in a world of trouble. It may only be a matter of time as he's absorbing quite a bit of punishment with his back on the ropes.
It's really funny to see that he's only blocking the body. Not once have I seen him go up to the top. And look at Rivas' hands and where they're at.
No question, and down goes Rivas again.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Referee's taking a long look at him. Chris, I think it's only a matter of time. He's going to give him a short leash, and now the doctor going to come and check out Francisco Rivas.
And Francisco Rivas definitely needed these extra 15, 20 seconds that he's about to get.
See, I don't agree with that because of the fact that the laceration is not impairing his vision whatsoever. And he seems to be totally coherent. So that just gave him a respite, but back comes Araujo. Araujo is just swarming and pounding away on Francisco Rivas. Luis Alberto looking to remain undefeated as he tries to stop Francisco Rivas in the opening matchup here in Torreon, Coahuila, Mexico.
And I'll tell you again, Ray, and all you young fighters watching out there.
Left hook to the body, drops Rivas, and this one is over. Luis Alberto has finished off Francisco Rivas with a vicious body attack.
Vicious is the word. That was a vicious, relentless, outstanding performance by Luis Araujo.
Well, Luis Araujo, he came, he saw, he conquered, and he did it largely in part to a body attack that certainly would make a lot of Mexican fighters proud.
Definitely, he never stopped going to the body from the beginning of the first round till he finished the fight. He just continued to rip to the body, and Rivas could take those headshots, but he couldn't take those body shots. See that he's
Luis Araujo from the outset did not allow Francisco Rivas to get into the fight. Here are some of the knockdowns, Chris.
And just the pace that Araujo pushes will definitely will any opponent, especially the way he's throwing to the body. Non-stop body shots.
Well, and you could tell that the face of Francisco Rivas, it tells it all. Very disappointed indeed. And now, to make it all official, here's our announcer.
Amigos de ESPN Knockout, damos a ustedes el resultado oficial de esta pelea. Y el vencedor de este encuentro por nocaut técnico al minuto con 32 segundos del tercer round, Luis Peluchín Araujo.
So Luis Araujo elevates his record to 11 wins, no losses, 2 draws, 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Chris, give me your assessment on what we saw out of Los Mochis, Sinaloa's own Luis Araujo.
I mean, there's not too much to say other than he looked spectacular, man. He came out, he just blistered his opponent, not something that most likely Rivas expected, and it showed, man, because from beginning to end, Rivas looked flat-footed. He was being pushed back, even though at times he did land a few uppercuts and a few shots, but Araujo was able to eat him up, and that uppercut is one that I was mentioning. But Araujo was able to eat him up and just press forward and rip those body shots, man. And like I mentioned earlier, any Mexican fighter and any Mexican boxing fan would be proud of those body shots.
Okay, so as I'm looking at Araujo, I thought he was very impressive, but let's go ahead and I'm going to be hypercritical here and just look at things that I'd like to see improvements on. It wouldn't hurt him to throw a jab every once in a while. Number 2, I like I know the body attack was there, but also he can punch. This guy has power. Mix in your attack upstairs occasionally, because I think there were a couple moments where he could have had a highlight reel head knockout.
Yes, Rivas was not blocking anything to the head. I think in the middle of the fight, I was saying how he was so afraid of and we can see here on the replay, he was so afraid of the body shots that he had both hands around his sternum. So you're right, a highlight knockout could have came for Araujo, but he still gets a solid body shot knockout.
You know what I'm curious about, Chris? I'm wondering if they told him, and him and his team and his trainer decided to say, you know what, we're gonna get a body shot knockout tonight. Like, that's our focus, because I know that has happened in boxing circles before. Maybe that was the target of emphasis. Let's go ahead and get the body knockout on our resume here.
Yeah, maybe it's something that they worked on over and over in the gym.